Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining me today during one of the most sacred weeks in our calendar, Passover, which begins tomorrow at sundown, Good Friday, and Resurrection Sunday. And of course, you know that we are in the midst of Ramadan, so we wish our collective community of faith a time of peace, reflection, and renewal. We also say happy Passover and happy Easter. We have some exciting news for our small business community here in Savannah. Our registration is now open for the 2023 Mayor Small Business Conference, and that opens today. The conference will be held at the Savannah Civic Center on May the 2nd, beginning at 8:30 a.m. and will include a packed agenda of speakers and presentations to help our local small business owners succeed. Immediately following the conference, there will be what's called a reverse trade show to allow attendees to share information about their products and services to city departments and purchasing personnel. We recognize that we have an opportunity and responsibility to ensure that small businesses, which is the cog of our economy here in Savannah, continue to succeed. So local small businesses and entrepreneurs can register for this free one-day conference at savannahga.gov/MSBC, savannahga.gov/Mayor Small Business Conference, MSBC. Registration is open until Friday, May the 21st at 5 p.m. or until our capacity becomes full. And so we're asking people to get in, get involved, get engaged. Summer is quickly approaching, and your city is gearing up for the many activities and options that we offer each year to keep our youngest residents happy and safe while out of school. One of those options is the City of Savannah's summer camps. Camp registration begins April the 10th, and spaces are limited, and we do prioritize City of Savannah residents, so make sure to sign up early. If your child receives free or reduced lunch, they may be also eligible for financial assistance. We're asking parents and grandparents, godparents, aunts, and uncles, don't miss out on this opportunity of a summer full of fun and adventure. And for more information, you can visit savannahga.gov/summer camp, savannahga.gov/summer camp. As our temperatures continue to rise, our residents tend to use their air conditioners more, which results in higher electric bills. And so knowing this, our Office of Sustainability has added additional opportunities for the public to participate in their series of community workshops about free energy efficient programs. These programs are for income qualified Georgia Power customers and offer minor upgrades which can be completed in one day and will make homes more comfortable and more energy efficient as we lower those monthly energy bills. The workshops will take place in Woodville on Wednesday, April the 5th at 10 p.m. at 127 Darling Street, and in Carver Village at 10 a.m. on Thursday, April the 6th at 905 Collat Avenue, C-O-L-L-A-T, in Carver Village. Residents can receive assistance in applying for the programs at any workshop, and they only need to bring a copy of their Georgia Power bill. Staff will be available to assist income-qualified seniors ages 65 and up with applying for Georgia Power's Senior Discount Program. The workshops are part of the City of Savannah's 100% Savannah Plan to achieve 100% renewable energy in our community by 2030 and then ultimately by 2050. For more information or on the community workshops of the Order 100% Savannah Plan, contact Clean Energy Manager Alicia Brown at 912-651-6838, 912-651-6838, or you can email her at Alicia, alicia.brown@savannahga.gov. Also, has been widely reported the City of Savannah is accepting applications for the naming of the square formerly known as Calhoun Square, located on Abercorn Street and East Wayne Street until May the 15th at 11:59 p.m. As you know, this square was formerly named for statesman and politician John C. Calhoun, and despite a enviable career, an accomplished career, Mr. Calhoun was a staunch defender and champion of the institution of slavery. After we received intense public comment, the City Council determined that Calhoun's legacy really did not reflect what Savannah is or what we will be. It certainly did not represent our values, and so we voted to remove this name from the square and engage in a public process to name the square. So, as you all may be very familiar with, there are already established and codified practices. One, to rename a square from a name, or name a square to something, or name a asset that does not have a name, and they're two different processes. So we're following the process that requires us to name an unnamed asset. So people will ask, why don't you just change the name? Well, that's a different process, and it requires a different set of requirements to be met. So ultimately, this council decided that our public property names should serve to inspire our citizens and reflect on individuals of outstanding character, values, and achievements in Savannah's history. So this is a unique opportunity, particularly in a city like Savannah, for us to expand history, for us to have a more inclusive history. And although I have my thoughts about it, the reality is that we'll let it go through the process and see where we are. I do think it is an outstanding opportunity for us in preserving history, to expanding history, to also make history as well. So in other news, well, and I'll tell you this, and I've received people commenting and emails and people telling me that is not the way to do it. There is a process, and so please go on our website and please follow that process. And although you want to make your views known to me, and I appreciate it, I love hearing from constituents in emails and phone calls and on social media, that does not get that name in the hat. And we're not limited to people. We are also open to places or concepts, ideas, values. So we're asking people to go ahead and follow that process. In other news, registration is now open for folks interested in being a volunteer or an exhibitor at the 2023 Earth Day Savannah celebration. And so this year it will happen on Friday, April the 21st in Datham Park from 4 to 8 p.m. And to learn more, visit earthdaysavannah.org, earthdaysavannah.org. And don't forget, the City of Savannah's Human Services Department will hold a community resources and benefits fair on Saturday, April the 15th. Residents can renew their taxes for free. They can apply for or renew SNAP and Medicaid benefits. They can receive health screenings. They can apply for the City of Savannah's Home Repair Assistance Program, and much, much more. Residents can attend these sessions at the Pennsylvania Avenue Resource Center, known as PARC, from 9 a.m. to noon, or at Moses Jackson on the west side from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can go on the east side from 9 to noon, or on the west side from 11 to 2. And finally, we're heading to the Highlands tomorrow to mark construction on a much-needed park in the Highlands. This is the rapidly growing area of our community, one that I've represented when there was nothing there. Now there's a lot there. and we continue to work to be able to make sure that the infrastructure keeps up with the growth. We have to make sure that the amenities out there that are city provided keep up. And so I remember acquiring 2 5-acre tracts of land for development and now a much larger piece of land to be able to develop parks up there. We still have significant traffic issues out there. And again, I will say my disappointment that T-SPLOST did not pass because our marquee project was the $26 million for the development of that expansion of that road. So, but we'll be up in the Highlands tomorrow. The event starts at 10 o'clock at Shellbark Way and Basewood Drive. Shellbark Way and Basewood Drive, and we hope to see all of our media partners there. So that is my prepared remarks, and I will answer any questions you may have. Good morning.
So we just had Flau'jae Johnson just won national championship with LSU. She's local. Does the city plan to do any sort of celebration for her?
I've known Flau'jae since she was a baby. I held her as a baby, knew her dad well. We're very proud of her. She's born in Savannah, and we're talking about how do we do it. I mean, I remember giving her a key to the city myself, so she has those things from her America's Got Talent things. We also have players from the University of Georgia who also, won a national championship. So we'll figure out an appropriate way to honor them. Obviously, very, very proud of her, very proud of all of our athletes. But I think it also brings to bear a much-needed need for us, and particularly something I'm planning to address in our next BLOS is that, we have to be able to make sure we have the types of facilities available in recreation and athletics to help to bring forth those types of stories. Obviously, it's a great way to open doors for young people, and we have shown in so many ways that we have talent here. And I was at Savannah State's gala, and they honored Shannon Sharp, who I went to college with, and NFL Hall of Famer. So there are more stories there, and so we have to help to develop them. We have to make sure that they have opportunities not only in football and basketball and baseball, but also track and field, and make sure that we have those facilities, world-class facilities, to help produce world-class athletes. So getting very proud of her, reached out to her mom. She won't get on the court with me, and she's been afraid to for years. I've been daring her, so maybe she'll feel bold enough to do so now. Just pass the mic.
Oh, wow, yeah. So the Homeless Authority recently released their full point-in-time count, showed about more than 700 people in the Chatham area experiencing homelessness. That's up about 200 from the year before. Just want to get your thoughts on the full report. Have you had a chance to read it, and what were your takeaways?
I have not. I was briefed on the report. Again, I mean, we've heard people will say, it's 4,000 people here, 5,000 people. No, I mean, the point in time is a pretty accurate assessment of a specific snapshot of where you are on a particular day. We recognize, again, we have a significant issue with homelessness. We have them all over the country. I was in Washington, D.C., and, there are literally folks on sidewalks as you walk down the streets. We don't criminalize it. The city of Savannah, under this administration, has placed historic funding of creating opportunities to be able to address the issue of homelessness in the community. Providing homes for those who want a place to stay, a roof over their head, both on the transitional side and on the chronic side. Day centers for people to have places to go during the day, to take a shower, to get a meal to take care of their business to receive wraparound services. Certainly in the Dundee Cottage, the construction of the tiny home project that we have there, the street teams that we have going around the city, again, going to people where they are and addressing that. And then we're looking at a couple other things to be able to try to address it, because we find that many of them that we've encountered don't want to live in a shelter. They want to live in various outside types of developments, and so we have to figure out a way to do that in a safe, clean way. And so, we're looking at those ways to be able to do that.
So, given those programs that you just laid out and the numbers that were released, I mean, do you feel like those programs are effective? Do they need to be tweaked? I mean, how are they doing?
Well, the reality is that the city of Savannah is the only one doing them. Homelessness is a county-wide issue, and we need our county partners to put significant skin in the game. We need the other municipalities to put significant skin in the game to be able to address this. It becomes a force multiplier when all of us are doing what we can to be able to address it. And for years, the city of Savannah has been the only player. And historically, theoretically, fundamentally, homelessness, prevention, eradication is a county function. And so we're asking our partners to get involved and get engaged in that. We don't improve our situation if there's just only one oar in the boat rowing. We need everybody rowing together on it. Homelessness is a challenge for our entire community.
But here in Savannah specifically, one of the bigger stories about homelessness was what happened under the Truman Bridge last year. Has the city kept track of where those people have gone? And if so,
the Homeless Authority keeps track of it. The city does not. We have partners that actually deal with homelessness. And so, again, we know there were about 38 people there. We know 4 of them had warrants, felony warrants. We know that 2 or 3 took advantage of the offer for shelter. Little high ends of the 20 of those individuals went elsewhere. So, I mean, we know who those individuals are. Part of the reason of the street team and the day center is to know who they are, to be able to engage them where they are, if they want to go home and we're able to find a responsible party to take them, we send them home. So, for us, for you, they might be numbers. For us, they're names, they're people. And some might be that they just need a medication. Some of them are veterans and served our country. Some are mothers or fathers. Some are people just traveling through. And you will find there are times in the year where we have people that will come to the Savannah, but they're literally just passing through, going somewhere else. And so we can predict when they come to town. We could predict pretty much how long they stay, and then they move on. There's some that come through the train system, the freight train system, and they travel throughout the country. So for us, it's about relationship building, seeing where their individual needs are, and then addressing each individual at their need. We will not criminalize homelessness. We will not move people from public spaces because it's against the law, and we will not arrest people for being homeless. That being said, criminality or criminal behavior will not be tolerated, and we'll address criminal behavior by whoever commits it, whether they're homelessness, or whether they are unhoused, or whether they have a home.
And just on a different note, as it relates to the federal courthouse, the contractor on charge with the project sent a letter to business owners saying that this week one of the streets surrounding the courthouse would be closed. Is the city aware of any further disruptions to traffic in the near future as it relates to that project?
I wasn't aware of that, and I'm not sure they'll be closed. I'll be meeting with the U.S. Marshal today because I think that communication has not been what it should be. Certainly, there are businesses who are extremely impacted by this. And although this is not a city project, it's the responsibility of the city to advocate for them. So I'll be sharing the concerns of those neighbors, those businesses with the U.S. Marshal today. The city has a role in this. We issue permits. And so I think that, that gives us some leverage to make sure that folks are treated right and folks are treated fairly. We've already come through a very trying time with Broughton Street, in which businesses were impacted. We made adjustments to be able to help, and I think that they have to do so for some of these businesses. I mean, when you're closing an entire street, you're really closing an opportunity for a business to survive. And so I'll be discussing that with the U.S. Marshal today. Thank you. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you all. Make this a good week. Make it a Savannah Strong week. Thanks so much.